Hi, welcome back to Hollie Hobbies. Let's create a charming carrot tulip wreath. This wreath combines the vibrant colors of tulips with the playful shape of a carrot, perfect for springtime or Easter. Whether you're a seasoned crafter or a beginner, this wreath is fun and easy to make. So gather your supplies and let's get started on making a beautiful carrot tulip wreath that will brighten up any door or wall. Hi, welcome back to Hollie Hobbies. Today we're going to be doing a carrot wreath out of tulips, and this is going to be a really beautiful, easy wreath to do. And we're going to get started with one of the Dollar Tree wreath frames, and we're going to need some plastic mesh that's going to be big enough to cut enough out the size of your wreath frame, and some greenery for the carrot top, and some tulip flowers. And I found these at Michael's. I thought they were really pretty and they're a great color for this wreath. And we're also going to need some zip ties and some ribbon when we finish up the final embellishments. So let's get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our Sharpie and trace our carrot wreath form. And then we're going to cut this plastic mesh out in the shape of this carrot here. So we have the shape of the carrot, and now we're going to cut it out. So you're going to take your scissors. These are my favorite heavy-duty crafting scissors. I got them off Amazon, and I do have the link to these as well as all my favorite crafting supplies in the description box to my Amazon store. These are wonderful scissors. I use them all the time and they never seem to get dull. And they're great for something like this. You want to make sure you have some good scissors to cut through this mesh. So we're going to cut this out in the shape of the carrot and zip tie it to the wreath frame. So now what we're going to do is attach this plastic mesh to the carrot wreath frame with our zip ties. And this doesn't have to be exact, perfect. We just want to have a base that we can attach our flowers to. And you always want to get some zip ties that are going to be thin enough to go through whatever size mesh that you choose. This is 7mm mesh, and they have the bigger holes as well. So I'm just going to start getting this all zip tied to my wreath frame. So I have my zip ties scattered around the wreath frame and securing that plastic mesh to the wreath frame. And then we'll just go ahead and use your wire cutters to clip all the ends off. So now we have our plastic mesh attached to the wreath frame with our zip ties. And that is going to be the base that we're going to start with. And you can get this plastic mesh at Hobby Lobby, most of your crafting stores. I like Hobby Lobby because they have the big sheets of it. And then you could save the extra for other projects as well. So now I'm going to prep my tulips, and I'm going to cut the stem with my wire clippers, just making a couple inches on the stem. So I'm going to get all of these prepped, and we're going to use those stems to attach it to the mesh. And it's going to be really secure. That mesh just gives us something to attach our flowers, our ribbon, our greenery too. So let me get all these prepped and I'll be right back. So we're going to use zip ties, and we're going to, this first one, we're just going to hang over the edge here, the tip right there at the edge of the wreath frame. And we're coming through the mesh with our zip tie, and we're going to secure this tulip right to that plastic mesh. And we're starting with one right there hanging off the bottom. And you see how that's right, the stem is right at that edge of the wreath frame. And let's go ahead and just add one more zip tie to make sure it's on there. We're going on each side of that stem through the mesh with our zip tie, and we'll secure another one. So we have that tulip is right there at the very tip of our carrot frame. So now we're just going to start layering our tulips, and the next one is going in, and we're just going to continually work with zip tying those stems to our wreath frame. And we're going to start staggering and increasing the tulips each row as we go along. So we had one for the first row, and now we're going to do two. And then we'll do our other one like so. You need to cut more of those stems to make them shorter. Feel free to do so. Going on each side of that stem. And now we have our two placed for the next row. This one, the next row is going to have three. So two, we'll do two on the sides, and one is going to be in the center. So the next row will look like that. And we always want them hanging off the edge of the frame just a little bit. So this one, I'm going to do it like that. So you're just going to place them how you want, what looks good to you, and just make sure you're zip tying each one to the frame. If you want to use one or two zip ties, that's up to you. And then you could trim off the top of the stem once you get it secured in there. And we're just going to keep increasing as we go up our tulip frame here, or carrot frame here. So these two will be off the sides, and we could turn them the way that we want. And you're going to create your carrot tulip masterpiece. We're going to go all the way up the frame here. And I'm clipping off the excess stem. So I had 1, 2, and now I'm doing 3. And look at how cute that's starting to be. And we're going to fill up our carrot frame, and we're just going to have a beautiful flower carrot wreath. That's just going to look super cute. So I'm just following this wreath frame, just hanging it over the flower, over that edge just slightly. And I'm just going to keep tapering with the wreath frame as it increases in size. I'm adding each one of these on individually. And just kind of just like a puzzle, I'm just picking the rose that I like, or the tulip that I like, and I'm placing it, filling in the little gaps of my puzzle. I think I like this one here. So this next one is a 3 as well, going across, and taking my zip tie and securing that tulip right to that mesh. And that's what we have so far. We have 1, 2, 3, and 3 so far. And I'm clipping off the zip tie, and once you get them secured, you can clip down the stem so it's not so bulky. All right, so now it's still the pretty narrow part of the tulip. So we're just going to, this one will probably going to be another 3. Now we could stick it underneath that bar like that. Let it hold it while we're getting our design ready. And let's see what this one looks like. We'll just place the stem under that wreath frame. There we go. And that's just holding it so we can get our design ready. This next one's going to be another 3, and then we'll probably start tapering a little bit bigger the next one. So we're just following that edge of our carrot frame. That's why these frames are so great. So just so versatile. You could do so much with them. And this one, we're just kind of following that edge here with our tulip. And we'll do something like that for this next set. I'm moving my way up the frame, and at this point I want to do the sides first. I just want to keep following this edge of the frame with just placing my tulip flower just a little bit over that wire edge. So I'm going to do both sides first. At this point we're doing the sides first, and then we'll fill it in with the fillers. So we'll just get our edges done here, and I'm just going to keep following this edge of the frame, and that's going to give it that nice shape that we're after, a nice carrot shape. So see how that's just hanging over as I'm following this wreath frame. So I want it about like so, and then we'll fill in the middle when we're done. Doing my fill-in flowers, I'm zip tying more at the end of the stem so it gives it some depth and stands up a little bit. and fills it in. I don't want to squish it way down out like that. So I'm just kind of zip tying right here at the base of my flower stem, something like that, and see how it just fills it in, and it's still giving it that nice look that we're after here. So we are moving our way up this carrot. It's going pretty fast. You're just taking it one tulip at a time, doing those edges and then filling it in as we go along here. See, I have it right there at the end, and then look at how that looks. That it's filling it in nicely. Okay, so we have a couple more fillers to go here. We're just going to keep filling like that. I'll do one more over here. And this is completely up to you. I'll do these two fillers and maybe one more here. And then we're going to start on the next edges. We only have probably 2 more to do on the edge, and then we'll fill in the rest, and then we'll get ready to embellish it. So I'm gonna keep filling up until I get even with the 2 that I did at the top here. I'm gonna fill in this gap, and then I'll check back with you. So I went ahead and prepped that last bundle of tulips, which is just going to be perfect for this design. We're only coming right around this area. We don't have to come all the way to the top here. And I'm just going to keep moving along here, placing the edges on first and then filling in the gaps with the rest. So I'm just going right above this bar here. So I think maybe this one and maybe one more ought to do it on the side. So I'm going to get all the sides placed first, and then we're going to finish it all off by filling in with the rest of our flowers. The last ones on the sides, that's as high as I want to go, and I have 5 more that we're going to use to fill in the gaps here, and that will be just enough to finish this tulip off. So let's finish filling it up with these last ones here. All 3 of the tulip bundles, and look at our beautiful wreath that is starting to take form here. So the next thing I want to do is we're going to take some greenery, and I like to add some different variety of greeneries. I get this at Hobby Lobby, and I just take each little piece off. I think it's really neat looking. And then we're going to tie some of this together with the fern for our greenery. I just love this. I think it's so pretty. So we're going to do one of each on, we're going to zip tie it to the top of our carrot here, along with some fern here. So let's just go ahead and you can use any greenery of your choice that you think looks pretty. Looks like a carrot top. And we're gonna do something like this. I'm just gonna add, probably gonna add 2 on each one of the fern to make it nice and full, and then we'll add 1 of the other. So that's what we're gonna do. So first of all, we're going to zip tie this greenery to the top 3 parts of the leaves on the mesh. All right, so we're gonna take each piece here and zip tie it onto the mesh. Give it a good zip tie. And the next one, we're going in the middle. And the end of the greenery can just kind of hit the base of that wreath right there. This one, let me cut this stem down so I can get that. So this one is just going to kind of place it where it's hitting this base right there. You want it to be coming right out the top of that wreath, your big carrot top. This is why I like using the mesh, because it just gives us some surface area to attach what we need to attach, all of our greenery, our ribbon. I'm going to do another one on this one, just to make sure it's nice and secure on there. And let's do one more over on this side. So we have this greenery coming out the top, and now we're going to add 2 pieces of the fern to this, each of the little leaves in the carrot here. So we're going to get this nice and full. And now we're going to do the last 2 pieces of the fern on this last side here. And we're just attaching it on each side of this other greenery that we put. And then we're going to finish it off with a big, beautiful bow. All right, so now we have all of our greenery attached to each of the leaf sections on the top of our carrot wreath. We have 1 sprig of this beautiful, I don't know what you call it, coming out, and 2 of the fern pieces. And like I said before, you can use whatever greenery of your choice. And now we're going to finish off our masterpiece with a beautiful bow. Now, check this out, how this ties it all together. This is a bow I made. I did a tutorial on this bow, and we're going to attach this bow right there into that big gap in our wreath, and it's just going to tie everything together. And I will leave the link to the stacked ribbon bow in the description box if you want to make this particular type of bow, it's very easy to do. Or you could do any statement bow of your choice. So we're going to go ahead and attach our bow, and look at how gorgeous our wreath turned out, and how fun was that. So this bow, we have the pipe cleaners right here on the back, and we are going to attach it. See, I can either do it so it comes out, these come out this way, or if I think I want them to come out more towards the top with the burlap down this way. So I'm just going to attach the bow right into this part, take it through the mesh, and just find the right placement that you like. And I'm not going to flip it over because I don't want to smush the bow there, but I'm just twisting those pipe cleaners in the back to secure it. And look at our gorgeous carrot tulip wreath that we did together. And I went ahead and secured a zip tie right here in the center of this top leaf on the carrot frame, or you could go across this way as well. So that completes our tulip carrot wreath today, and I hope you enjoyed making yours along with me, and that you'll subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of this tutorial, and if you ring that bell, you will get notifications on all my new tutorials when they come out. And I will link the tutorial for this stacked ribbon bow in the description box, as well as the link to my Amazon store with all my favorite crafting supplies. And I hope you come back to my channel and craft with me some more. Thanks for watching Hollie Hobbies, from my heart to yours. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow me for more wreath and crafting ideas. Thanks for watching Hollie Hobbies, from my heart to yours.